on the mound for this Maroon team here. Coach, left-hander Cooper Benson had a very solid year in his freshman year, 6 feet, 213-pound kid from San Luis Obispo, California. And you look at the numbers there, and you put him in some high-leverage situations early on in the first weekend. What can you say about Cooper?
Well, I think it's a tough ask of a freshman, to come in and be your Friday guy, and but we always say you're going to get what you earn in this program, and Cooper did a really good job, positioned himself for that, and for the most part, did an excellent job of doing what a starter's supposed to do, which is give you a chance to win, and in a highly competitive, league. And he unfortunately didn't get experience the conference piece of that, but in the pre-conference stuff, did a fantastic job for us.
Yeah, he made 4 starts, and 3 of them were on Friday nights. I mean, that just shows how much confidence you had and you and Jason Kelly, the pitching coach, had in him. And should be fun to see him and Tyler Thornton will go at it, a little friendly sort of one-on-one in the first couple of innings.
Yep, it will be. Are the birds out of here yet? This is that time of year when the birds.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they get this stadium and mess it all up, and they build nests up there, and there are little bird droppings here.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Typically, I know like the Seagulls back in San Francisco,
Is that
the Giants.
Same deal?
When all the fans have cleared out and there's a lot of leftover food, it's like their little post-game dinner.
Oh, yeah.
First pitch, Kai Murphy popped up,
Foul ball.
And that one will go into the dugout, the Maroon dugout for strike one. We are underway. 3:05 p.m. first pitch. Game 4 of the Maroon and Gold World Series, with the Gold team up 2-1. So this is the left-handed hitting Kai Murphy, who we got to see a little bit on Wednesday. The redshirt freshman, transfer from Oregon State. And he takes one just a bit off the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kai, a bit of a two-way player, but I know, Coach, you mentioned a little bit Wednesday how he might be able to help you a little bit more on the position player side.
Well, like I said, I mean, we knew we were going to get a competitive guy on the mound and find a way to get you out and stick in even the competitive at bats. But he's just had a really, really good fall. I mean, defensively, he's gotten the job done and has, for the most part, given really good ABs. So he's definitely going to be in the mix.
Well, ground out to first there. Brian Calmer making the play out at first for out number 1. And this will bring up the shortstop, Drew Swift, here with 1 away. Drew, the redshirt junior from Chandler. And had a nice base hit on Wednesday. Went 1 for 5 with the RBI double down the left field line. And here he is standing in. You take a look at the numbers from this past season.
I was giving him a little heck because, he's had a really good fall, and he was struggling a little bit in that game the other day, and he said, well, I was just saving it till somebody was on base. So, hey, we'll take that.
You'll take that. And I'm sure you'll be expecting it for this upcoming season.
Oh, yeah.
Because of, it's just I think so many of us were so impressed at the production, the improvement from his sophomore year to his junior year. It was just so dramatic.
That's the fun part of coaching, these guys, and particularly at this age group where you see them come in. Now, they're not boys. I mean, they're men at 18 years old, but just that development that happens over the 2 or 3 and sometimes 4 years in your program, and he's a classic example of it. A great kid, strong work ethic, and as he physically gets stronger and settle in and get comfortable at the college level, you start to see how good and how good he can be. Right?
What a catch! Leaping out and making the play, Sean McLean to his right. He takes one. He takes one away from his teammate.
There'll be some ribbon about that, I'm sure.
But as you were mentioning about Swift, I mean, his sophomore year hitting 269 for the entire season, and then to his junior year, I mean, he was hitting 365, over 400 on base percentage, and he was driving in RBIs as well, extra base hits. He was just, that production was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's just a shame we didn't get to
Yeah.
you play that out with that. And it sounds funny when you introduced him before, Redshirt Junior, like the redshirt tag on everybody.
Everyone's got the red shirt
Oh,
basically.
Yeah.
As Hunter Jump steps in, 2 balls and no strikes to the left-handed hitting outfielder. Hunter, another redshirt junior, you could say, who had another solid year for you guys.
Yeah. And has done a good job, certainly in the fall, putting together competitive at-bats. And that's what we like about it, very competitive at-bats.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Jump. 317 with 2 homers and 15 RBIs back on this past season. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Cooper Benson with the 1-2. And he leaves that one up high. So 3-2 now. Here's the count to Jump with Jack Moss, the freshman, on deck. And Jump chases that one outside and away. And that is a 1-2-3 first inning for Cooper Benson. Off we go to the home half of the first. No score here from Phoenix Muni, and we'll be right back here on Pac-12 Plus. Back here at Phoenix Muni, bottom half of the first. Let's take a look at the Maroon starting lineup. And as you can see there, Joe Lampe, the redshirt freshman, he'll lead off and play center field, followed by Sean McLean, Nick Chima hitting third, and then Aubrey Major hitting fourth. Brian Calmer hitting fifth, playing first base. The freshman Blake Pivarov will hit sixth and will play third. And then Vinny Tosti will hit seventh and play right field. And then hitting eighth will be the freshman Hunter Haas and playing second. And there is no number 9 hitter. Is that correct on this Maroon lineup here, Coach?
Well, that's news to me.
Well, when we got it, we didn't get a number 9 spot. It's okay. We'll see if you guys fill in a spot there.
Well, that's all right.
As Tyler Thornton faces Joe Lampe. Lampe, a little check swing. That might fall for a base hit, and it will. And Joe is going to take a wide turnaround first, and he'll stay there on a little accidental base hit, you could say.
Take those all day long.
Oh, yeah. And we'll get a chance to see Joe on the base paths here.
So, yeah, as a reminder, if we do see a steal, which may happen, that we won't see a throw from our catcher just because we're shutting him down. And same as no, that's McLean. I was going to say same with Chima again.
Chima, yep.
Not going to be running. We don't want those disparaging remarks about guys not hustling. There is a reason.
Logan Postian behind the dish for Team Gold. And as you said, Sean McLean, he steps in here against Tyler Thornton. First pitch on the inside for a called strike. Coach, let's talk a little bit about Tyler Thornton here, 6'3", 180 from Solana Beach, California, the redshirt sophomore who stepped in and became a pretty important piece of the rotation early on for Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the transfers, that joined our program last year, and just a highly sought after, that looked fair, by everybody. Had a tremendous freshman year. In fact, I believe was the freshman pitcher of the year in the country, and came in and as you mentioned, made an immediate impact to the program and took over one of the spots in the weekend. But he's a competitive kid. We love when the ball's in his hands because he's going to get out there and compete. He's going to be around the zone, and it's one of those deals. If you get to him, it's because you're doing something, not because he's going to give it to you. So.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, from St. Mary's, the freshman of the year, then came in, did what you wanted him to do, as McLean will pop that one out of play. And I think I asked you, this was back when Thornton was pitching back in, I think, February, and I think I may have gotten a little ahead of myself when I asked if he was the best pitcher in your rotation just for the time being, and you kind of said to pump the brakes a little bit there.
Well, yeah. But no, I mean, he's certainly in the conversation.
Yeah.
And I would anticipate that that's going to happen again this year. So
McLean into left field for a base hit, back-to-back singles here for Team Maroon. So Lampe on second, and then McLean over at first. This will bring up the catcher, Nick Chima.
Non-running Nick Chima. That's what we'll call him.
Non-running Nick Chima. That's just as a little, disclaimer there for
That's
those.
Right. That's right.
So the redshirt senior from Weatherford, Texas, getting a chance here, hitting third in this this lineup here. First pitch on the way from Tyler Thornton.
These are always the interesting situations here where you've got, you know, when you say a strikeout is better than a ground ball here, you know, because you've got a guy that doesn't run real well, and you want to make sure you keep the ball off the deck here, because if any ground ball's probably going to be a double play. So good little matchup here.
Couple of sliders that catch the inside. That one caught the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nick Chima. And Tyler's got that fastball, got that slider as well, a little sweeping slider movement.
Yeah. We're going to try to get the ball to the outfield here.
1 ball and 1 strike.
How
about a line drive up the middle?
That'll get to the outfield.
Lampy is coming home, and the throw will go to second. Nick Chima does the job, a little RBI single up the middle, and Maroon takes a 1-0 lead. So that's 3 straight hits now off Tyler Thornton. McLean goes over to second, and so this will bring up now the left-handed hitting transfer from Xavier University, Albury major. And so Albury will step in. He had a couple of doubles back on Wednesday.
I'll give you an interesting stat here. You ready for this?
I'm ready, Coach.
Okay. This is so I'm from a small community, small town in Indiana called Kentland, and there are 3 towns that feed the high school, the local high school, South Newton, and one of the other small towns. So that class, my sister and Aubrey's mother went to high school together.
Really?
In that small school back in that. So how worlds collide right here.
Yeah, it's a small world. That's what they say. And he's a guy that is going to be providing some sort of that middle of the order power for this upcoming team.
So we'll give all recruiting credit to my sister. How about that?
There you go.
And her high school friends producing top prospects. How about that?
Absolutely. As it's 0-2 here in a major. Ooh, that was a pretty close pitch just off the inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Albury major. He's a big guy, 6'6", 215. Coach Early, the hitting coach, Mike Early, said he's got a very smooth left-handed swing as he hits that one off the fists. And that is caught at second. And
he is out. Oh, nope.
Now it looks like McLean going over to third on that play and just making sure that Chima and Jack Moss are okay. He'll have a little minor collision.
Yeah, that didn't look – none of that looked athletic there, did it?
No. Not sure what happened exactly, although other than McLean is at third now.
Well, I mean, on a line drive, head high in the infield, as a base running responsibility, less than 2 outs, you know, you hear people say freeze on a line drive. You hear whatever. Our principle are get back, because you're only going to advance 1 base on a line drive anyway. But what happens, and even Nick did it there, they'll take that extra step or 2, which is wrong. That's in the gap.
As Calmer into right center field, that will go into the gap. Coming in to score is Sean McLean. Nick Chima will stay at third. So an RBI double off the bat of Brian Calmer to make it 2-0 in favor of Team Maroon. There's still only 1 out.
He's got to battle to do some damage control here.
Well, he talked about if Gold were to win the series, I guess theoretically, right, it'd be 3-1. But you know, Team Maroon, you would find a way to make sure there'd be an imaginary Game 5, right?
Maroon will win this game.
Maroon will win this game
somehow, some way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
As this is Blake Pivarov who steps in now. First pitch, swing and a miss.
This will be interesting to see if the contact play offensively is on at the corner with a Gimpy Chima at third. So
no balls and a strike to Pivarov. Swings and fouls that one off to the left. Blake had a nice RBI single on Wednesday. He made a nice double play as well on had a line drive go right at him, and then he had to throw across the diamond to double off the runner at first.
Yeah, he's had a really, really solid fall for us. I mean, he's put himself in the mix and the conversation for certainly getting opportunities in the springtime.
0-2 pitch, 92 on the radar gun from Thornton, just a bit inside to make it 1-2. Just getting underway here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Gareth Glock alongside the head coach of Arizona State Baseball, Tracy Smith. Glad you can join us.
He does not like that inside corner, does he?
He really doesn't. Just Tyler's probably wondering, what do I have to do to get the call?
Interesting.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Pivarov with the redshirt freshman Vinny Tosti on deck for Maroon. Is that a swing and a miss or a foul ball?
I don't know what we have there. Guess we have a pass ball.
Looks like it's a strikeout and a pass ball, and the run scores to make it 3-0. Is that maybe a little bit of a cross up there, Coach?
I mean that one. I think it was just lack of that little lack of concentration, and that's the thing you're always battling in the fall is you're working through things, but the importance of every 90 feet. And sometimes guys, because they're just scrimmaging so much and it's quote unquote practice, that you get a little lackadaisical on stuff like that, and and that's what we have to impress, and will be certainly a teaching point after the game. But stuff like that cannot happen.
Right.
And that's just a fastball down the middle of the plate, and certainly a swinging strike down the middle of the plate. You cannot miss that baseball.
So it'll be runners on the quarters now for Vinny Tosti, and he takes that one on the outside corner there. No balls and a strike. So the outside's there, maybe not the inside part of the zone, Coach.
Yeah, I think we're learning that right here.
Is this the same umpire from Wednesday, or is it a different one?
I think it's a different one. I think.
Tosti.
Double foul ball.
With as you said, hit that one off twice. 0-2 to Vinny. Redshirt sophomore from Santa Ana, California. Transfer from Golden West College, and now he's here at Arizona State. Had a one-year stint back at the University of Oregon. But here he is, third team in his career. 0-2 against Thornton. And Tosti lays that one up high.
Got to find a way to put this ball in play because he runs well enough to be tough to double him up. So you got to try to pick that run up here with 1 out.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And a nice block by Postchin in the dirt. I know you've talked about how good Logan is defensively and how that can help your team this upcoming year.
Yeah, just got to get him healthy.
2 balls and 2 strikes. With Hunter Haas, the second baseman, on deck for Team Maroon. 2-2. Another nice block by Postchin, and it'll make it 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Vinny Tosti. 3-0 Maroon with Brian Calmer at third and Blake Pivarov at first. He reaches on the drop third strike. Three balls and 2 strikes.
Runner probably going here, I would imagine. Oh, no.
He doesn't. And Vinny, he takes that one. And for Vinny, who struck out 3 times back on Wednesday, there you go. You get to see a little bit of the plate discipline there. And here comes pitching coach. JK is going to have a quick word with Tyler.
Interesting.
What's the message here from
Well,
JK? You
I think
think?
he's going to stop nibbling. Be more aggressive in the strike zone and let your defense work for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think what was it? I think the count was 0-2 right there, wasn't it? And then Vinny did a nice job of working it back to a walk. But yeah, when you get 0-2 on that, you gotta put him away.
Yeah. So Hunter Haas will step in here against Tyler Thornton. But just one out here in the bottom of the first.
And here's the crazy part about baseball. I mean, you look out there, it looks like trouble. Your bases are, they're juiced right now. But you make one quality pitch, get the ball on the deck, and you can be out of the inning with a pretty good job of damage control here. So, see what happens.
So bases loaded. With one away, here's Hunter Haas, freshman, the local kid from Corona del Sol High School, and he'll take one down low for ball one.
Get a pitch to hit here.
Number 5 player overall, and number 2 shortstop in Arizona via perfect game. Swinging a drive to deep right. Murphy going back. He'll make the catch in the corner. Coming in to score is Brian Calmer. And over to third goes Pivarov. And so there's a productive at-bat there from the youngster.
Yep, did exactly what he was supposed to do, is get the ball to the outfield.
And he did just that. Drove in a run.
My wife just texted me that I sound super low energy. I don't want to be like too enthusiastic. Yeah,
it's a laid-back atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just following your lead. Uh-oh.
Oh, Lampy swinging to deep right on the first pitch. Murphy, though, will make the catch, and that will end the inning. Maybe as the game progresses, we'll see some more things happen here, Coach.
Well, no, I don't think it's my job to be enthusiastic. I think it's my job just to be informative.
Informative, absolutely. And we'll get more of that here as we enter the top of the second. We'll be right back here on Pac-12 Plus. Top of the second, Team Maroon with a 4-run first inning. And now it's time for Gold to try and answer here. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Team Gold. Jack Moss, Nate Baez, and then Ethan Long. First pitch just a bit outside. And Coach, on Wednesday, unfortunately, we saw Connor Davis go down with a knee injury, it looked like, after leaping up for a line drive. Do you have any update on Connor so far?
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird play. If you recall that play, I mean, it was, you had a runner at third, he's playing first, he's in the high hop, and I think he saw the runner advancing on the ground ball, and so he tried to turn his body midair and came down awkwardly a little bit, and, unfortunately for him, and, injured himself pretty severely, and is going to be out for a while. And but on that subject, and he's a great kid, he's a wonderful competitor, and he's sick to his stomach because he came here as a grad transfer with a 1-year deal. But just talking to him, and as tough as that is, I mean, injuries are a part of sport. They're a part of every sport, and he's got a very good head on his shoulders. He realizes that, and we talk about it all the time. We don't know the reason why it happened, but I'm sure there's a reason why that happened. And we're going to take it one step at a time with him. We're going to do everything to get him healthy and back into playing shape whenever that might be, and then kind of sort it out that, if God willing he wants to be back here, and we certainly want to bring him back. So hopefully we'll see if maybe it wasn't in the cards for this year, but certainly down the road.
Yeah, well, we hope that Connor has a speedy recovery as Nate Baez deep to center field. Lampy going back at the wall, and it's gone.
Nate's been swinging the bat really well this fall, and that's not an easy ball to hit out, to center field. And he got that one.
He goes dead central off Cooper Benson and makes it a 4-1 game. Baez was very close to hitting one out back on Wednesday. Hit the the top of the wall out in right field. Showed some of that opposite field power, but this time he goes to the deep part of the ballpark.
Yeah, you got all that one. This will be interesting. That'll turn Cooper up a little bit here, I think.
Might see a more intense Benson, you could say, maybe, as Ethan Long will step in here, the designated hitter. There's a called strike to make it 1-1.
Pitch.
It's a good spot. Check swing, though, by Long. 2 balls and a strike. As Benson down the count. 3 balls and a strike. Cade Higgins, the left-handed hitting second baseman, is on deck.
One of our top supporters, and no stranger to you too, Dave Rasley, came to my support and said that low-key is good today.
Low-key is good, okay.
Low-key is good today, so I appreciate that support, Dave, as always. So,
A little quick shout out there.
yeah.
As there's a fly ball to right, and Tosti will settle underneath it. This is what fall ball's about, right? Just kind of a nice little relaxed.
Well,
It's kind of your version of spring training a little bit, not to the degree, but in the casual, the vibe sense.
That's what I was saying. I mean, it's a fine line because you push on guys pretty hard in the fall. This is our spring training, is the way that the analogy that we use. This is the spring training. You're trying to win spots, and as much as you don't want that to be kind of a settle in and just kind of what you call a casual fall ball. I mean, guys grind it out, but we were constantly reminding them, hey, man, there's still jobs to be won. There's still opportunity out there. And if you're a competitive person, you don't want to let those get away. So even though we're winding down, I think we conclude on Sunday will be our last official fall practice. You want to maintain a level of intensity and a level of concentration all the way through fall, because I think we've all learned, we don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
You can't take one day for granted. And so to be able to have an opportunity to be out on this field, you got to take advantage of each and every one of those.
2 balls and 2 strikes here to Higgins. And I'm sure you've heard of the news earlier today of the Arizona State football and their game for Saturday getting canceled against Cal.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to what I was saying. These are uncertain times. We talked about it a little bit the other day. The virus isn't going away, so we got to learn how to navigate. And this is, our world's first time going through this with COVID.
Yep.
Not the first time in pandemics. There have been some, but in modern times, I mean, this is different. And our conference isn't immune to that. The testing, the protocols, and I know Coach Edwards and his staff, they're very diligent. But it just goes to show you can do everything possible.
Yeah.
And still, a virus is a virus. And it's unfortunate because these kids.
Oh, as Lampy looked like he may have lost that in the sun.
Yeah, tough sun there. But
That'll be a base hit.
But, just finishing that thought, I mean, it's kind of, it's a challenge. And you're dealing with a lot of bodies, and you're dealing with a very unpredictable virus. And I know our staff, our department has done everything possible. But, they're always going to put the safety of the student athletes first, and I think that's the ultimate decision they came to. So tough for the football team. I know they're disappointed because we had to go through that same feeling last spring, so I know what they're feeling.
Yeah, and fortunately for baseball, you still have some time before, for whatever it is, just to get ready and have that time all settled out.
But we even did that a little bit with our fall. I mean, we had the luxury here of.
That one gets past Pivarov off the bat of Joe Hauser, and on the move and trying to get to third. There's the tag, and Higgins is safe at third.
Good base running by the backside runner to move up on the throw.
That one got away from Blake there a little bit on the short hop.
Well, typical rule of thumb, if that ball hits that dirt first, and I think it hit the dirt first. If you're playing third, it hits that dirt, you come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he got himself in a little trouble there laying back on that initial hop. So kind of created an in-between hop for himself there.
All right, well, you got Seth Nager here. He's the tying run right now.
He'll take one off the outside. I'm sure this is good experience for these left-handed hitters, right, to face a quality left-handed arm.
Yeah, left-on-left matchups, for whatever reason, are always seem to be challenging for left-handed hitters. But, yeah, when you're facing a quality left-hander, it's even more challenging.
1 ball and no strikes here as Nager. There's a swing and a miss, 87 miles an hour on the radar from Cooper Benson. To make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Nate Baez with the home run. That's the Gold team's only run so far. Benson just a bit down in the dirt.
What do you got on this next pitch? What do you think it is? What's it going to be?
Why are you asking me?
No,
You're the coach here, right?
Well, no, I'm just. I'm gonna call. I'm thinking we got a breaking ball coming.
I'll go fastball.
You got right.
Oh, there we go. Outside corner. Outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, this is more of the game here. 2-2.
Well, now everything's open.
That's what makes it fun.
Everything's open here.
I'll go with the breaker.
Oh, fastball. Spike the fastball.
Yeah. A little bit low there. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Seth Nager, the redshirt freshman from Morro Valley, Arizona. Got some limited action this past season, and he skies one in the shallow right. Sean McClain makes the catch.
It's a good job of getting out of that.
And a good job by Benson indeed to limit the damage. Gives up the home run. We go to the bottom of the second. 4-1. Maroon team. We'll be right back.